Friends and learners, welcome back to this video lecture on the topic Technologies for Communication, first part. In this video lecture, I will be discussing about various technologies which you can use in the teaching learning processes. In the previous videos, we had discussed about majorly about the theoretical aspects of communication, and we had also mentioned that in the coming videos we will be talking about the various technologies which you can use in the teaching learning processes in different modes of education. I would like to make you recall about the different modes of education. We were talking about 4 different modes. One, the face-to-face education, second, the open and distance learning, third, the online education, and the fourth one, the blended mode of education. So in all these modes of education, we can use different technologies for communication. Now to start with, why these technologies are used. When I am saying this, you should always correlate your understanding with the different modes of education. In any modes of education, one of the primary uses would be, this is basically to deliver content in the classroom. So then in face-to-face education only we see that kind of a classroom communication. It is of course there in blended mode also, but in open and distance learning we don't see that way the classroom communication. So in that case also we have to deliver the content to the students. So for that technologies can be used. The second, I would say, it is to connect with the students. See, now the teaching learning process is 24/7, we used to say. It's not like we are going to the school or colleges or universities and study there for maybe till the evening, then we will go to our house. So till we come to the next day, we are separated from the teaching learning processes. That is the traditional kind of. But now it is not like that. Teacher and students are connected all the time, 24/7. So this will help the teachers, the students and various stakeholders involved in the teaching learning processes to get connected all the time. The third, you can share information with the stakeholders also. Say for example, the parents. The student had given an examination. What happens usually? The parents see their progress card and this is how they get the information. My son or daughter had received so and so grade. But now it is very fast, you can disseminate the information at a very fast pace. So it reaches to the parents within no time. So it's not only parents, there are various other stakeholders involved in education. So you can disseminate information, various types of information to the stakeholders involved in the teaching learning processes. So this is in brief the major points which we need to consider when we are talking about why technology is used in the teaching learning processes. Now we will be specifically talking about the technologies. See, when we talk about technologies, it's not only about the different application softwares which we are using. It includes both the digital devices, electronic devices, and at the same time, and you are well aware that technologies or electronic devices don't work that way without any software. So we need softwares also. So in broad, maybe we can say the ICTs or technologies includes both digital devices and application softwares. So some of the technologies which are commonly used, and you are also aware about such technologies: computer, tablet, television, radio, mobile devices. Normally we treat the mobile phones, or we also call it as smartphones or Android phones. Then LCD projectors are also used in a big way to project things, project the content in the classroom. Then smart boards are also very common nowadays, smart board, where students get an opportunity to interact. This is also known as interactive whiteboard. Maybe we can say the brand name of interactive whiteboard would be smart board. So these are some of the technologies which are electronic devices primarily. Now coming to the technologies, as I was pointing out, technologies do not work on their own. We need to have application softwares. So the softwares or the programs which are designed specifically to perform any particular specific action, we call it as application softwares. So it includes short messaging services, SMS or instant messaging services, electronic mails are there, blogs, websites I mean personal websites, the teachers or students can create their own personal websites, social media platforms, there are many social media platforms. The other very important technology, or maybe we can say the application software, is the learning management systems. The entire process which is happening in a traditional classroom can be recreated in a virtual space, for which we require learning management system. Then online groups and discussion forum, very important. See, in a normal classroom, teachers used to give some topics for discussion among the students. The students will be grouped into different groups. They will be discussing on a particular topic. This is traditionally practiced in conventional classrooms. The same is replicated in the virtual space, for which we require some specific application softwares which we call the discussion forum softwares. So there are many discussion forum softwares. We can also call it as online groups. The other technology is quick response code. Say for example, if it is the case of open and distance learning, students have to read the hard copy form of self-learning materials. They have to carry this self-learning material. So this is of course in hard copy form, but now you can convert the entire hard copy self-learning material to a simple, what we say, code, which is, you might have seen, which is black and white in color. It can be in other colors also. So the entire learning document, self-learning document, is converted into symbol code. So this is barcode. This can also be used. There are number of digital resource repositories. There are number of digital teaching learning resources. Of course, I am not going to discuss about the copyright issues. We cannot use all the digital teaching learning resources for teaching. But of course, there are many digital teaching learning resources which you can freely use. Such resources we call it as open educational resources. And the government of India also have many digital repositories. Say for example, the NROER, where digital teaching learning resources of varied formats are available. When you are teaching your school children, you can of course use those materials which are available in that platform. We have the IGNOU has a digital repository, eGyanKosh. All the self-learning materials, many video programs, video lectures are available in the eGyanKosh repository. So there are many. Now teaching learning apps, again, like the digital resource repositories, there are many digital learning apps. The teachers can use, the students can also make use of that. Electronic content, again, these are nothing but they are the resources which are digitally prepared. Say for example, the audio programs, video programs, if you are preparing any graphic, all those are digital in nature. E-text, interactive text. So that technology is also there. Then the audio video conferencing technologies. In IGNOU also there are facilities for giving live lectures through radio broadcasting technologies. The same is also possible in the video mode, for which televisions are used, satellite links are used. So audio video conference, if it is a conference, there will be an interaction between the participants. Then podcast and vodcasts are also available. Podcast and vodcasts are nothing but they are, if it is podcast, it is when it is an audio medium. If video is included in that teaching learning resource or teaching learning material, then this is vodcast. So we can convert, we can choose a particular topic, give a lecture, that can be recorded, that can be made a podcast. This is the simplest definition. We will talk podcasts in later videos also in detail. So these are some of the technologies, friends, learners. I hope you have understood what we have discussed. It includes, when I say about the ICTs or technologies, it includes both the digital devices and application softwares. So friends, I will be talking now more about the technologies. The first one is email. This is the interface which we will see when we are opening the email. We will be talking about this technology because this technology is extensively used for communication in the teaching learning processes. So how you can communicate through email, how you will attach different files, how you will reply, how you will change the settings of email, all this we will be discussing in detail. The second technology I was saying, website. There are facilities for creating your own website. So as a teacher, if you create your own website, you can share your teaching learning resources which are digital in nature through your website. So this is another technology. Blogs also you can use, of course, in languages and all. Teachers do develop blog, then the teaching learning resources are developed through blogs. As I was saying, social media, there are a number of social media platforms. This also we will discuss, 1 or 2 social media platforms we will discuss in the coming video lecture. So as I was saying, now we are talking more about email. What is email, the different features available in email, and the process of sending, composing, replying emails. This we will discuss in detail. So friends, I was saying that we will be extensively discussing about email. Let us see some of the basic aspects which are there, which are about the email, electronic mail. Then we will be moving on to the demonstration of email and the various options available in the electronic mail, for which we will make use of the Gmail. Why? Because there are many tools which are freely available. These products are freely available to anyone who is intending to use those technologies. It's not only the Gmail, there are many products from the Google company. If you talk about email, this is nothing but they are messages or transmission of messages on the internet, or the method of exchanging message between people using electronic devices. One of the simplest definitions or explanations which we can give to electronic mail. Now what are the purposes? One, we can communicate with the teachers, friends, etc. The teachers can communicate with the teachers, students and various other stakeholders. The same is with the students also. They can communicate with their peers. They can send assignments and reports, various. Now many home assignments, activities are prepared in the digital form, the reports of such activities and assignments. So that can be sent through email. You can share learning materials. Teachers can share learning materials with the students, learners. You can also use this to give feedbacks. Now coming to the email interface. See, this is how you will see the email. Say for example, the Gmail, when you open the Gmail after logging in, after you give your username and password, this is how it will look like. Gmail, you can see there is something like the compose, then below to that you can see inbox, start, snoozed, important, chats, sent, drafts, then again all mail, spam, trash. You can see this also, which is written in my name only, of course, Ajit BA, IGNOU, these are folders which I have created. So coming back to this, see inbox, this is the place where all the messages which are coming to our email, many things you are already aware of. Start, you can see start. If you want, if you feel some messages are very important, you have to then click on this. You can see this start button, star, there is a star mark. If you are clicking on this, then this will be turning the color to red, because I have chosen the red color. Then snoozed, you can also snooze, you are aware about the snoozing in alarm. Okay, so you can make it mute for couple of minutes or couple of hours. If you feel it is very important, you can mark it as very important. Chats, there is a facility for chats also. You can see when you go down, there is something like Hangouts. So this is again a facility which is available in the Gmail. So we don't have to use any chat services as such. You can simply click on this Hangout, which you are seeing in the slide, Hangout. Then those who are online, their names will be appearing here. Say for example, one name you can see, you click on this name, then you can chat with that particular person. Now sent, when you click on this, you will see the messages that you are sending to other people. Then drafts, suppose I am composing a new message, then if it is not complete, then I can simply close down the Gmail window, then this message will not be lost, this will be saved in the draft folder. Then the next day you are completing that email, then you can send. So draft is for that. Again coming to all mail, when you click this, all the mails that you have received which you have sent, all this will be appearing if you are clicking on this all mail. Spam, if there are some suspicious mails, if there are mails which you find something from some fraudsters, fraud people, then such messages goes into this spam, which you can spam. So if you are not comfortable with such emails, you can of course spam that, you can report that email, and when you are spamming any email, it comes to the spam folder. Trash, if you are deleting any message from your email, it goes to the trash folder. Now coming to this folder which I was saying, this is my name Ajit, I have created a folder. So what I have done, if there are some very personal or important messages, that I will be moving to this particular folder which is named. There is a folder which is named as BA. So if there are any mails which are related to this program BA Education, I will be moving to that particular folder. If there is some information from the university, I will be moving that emails to this folder IGNOU. We will see how it is created, these new folders. Now you can also see these links were not available in the Gmail before. They have included it like now. This is nothing but this is the link for Google Meet. So if you want to create or conduct any live Google Meet sessions, you don't have to open the Google Meet. You can simply click on the new meeting, then a Google Meet link will be opening up. Then you can do your live classes. If you have any meetings which is scheduled in the Google Calendar, and if you want to create any meeting, that can also be done using the My Meetings link, which is available just below the new meeting link. So friends, this is about the different folders which are available on the left side of your Gmail. You can see on the top something like a plus symbol and it is written compose. This is the place where we have to click to create or to send, to compose new emails. I will show you how it is appearing when you click on that. You can also see a box here, then a circled arrow mark, then 3 dots. Then on the right side there is a button which is like a wheel. You can click on this wheel type link or icon, which will help you to change the settings of your Gmail. I will also show that at the end of my presentation. Then there is, you can see some 9 dots here. This is to get the other Google applications like Google Meet, Google Calendar, there are many. You can see on the right side Google Calendar, Google Task, many things are there. If you want, you can retain that, otherwise you can click on this arrow mark which is on the right side, bottom side. You have to click on this, then this will be disappearing. This is how it is going to look like when you open the email, the messages that you have received, the time that you have received, everything will be showing in this window. Now, as I was saying, see, if you want to compose a new message, if you want to create a new message, you have to click on this compose, as I was saying, this compose plus button. When you click on this compose, a new window appears here. See, this kind of a window will be appearing here, where you have to insert the email address of the person who are going to receive, then the subject, what kind of a subject you are putting in. Suppose it is related to any meeting, you can simply put it is regarding or regarding meeting. Then this is the space we are going to write our message, and I hope you may be recalling the etiquettes that we need to follow when we are communicating through email. We had done we have done a video lecture on the different etiquettes that we need to follow when we are engaging or communicating through email. So you may think of all those etiquettes when you are composing or when you are sending an email. So friends, to button, if you want to send a copy of that email, you have to click on this carbon copy, then another email address window will be opening here. You have to put the email address of that particular person there. Now, if you want to send emails to 50 people, but those 50 people should not know to whom the sender has sent the messages. So, if you want to use such facilities, then you have to make use of the blind carbon copy option which is available in the Gmail. So, to carbon copy, blind carbon copy, then subject you are putting your message here. Then you can see something like here I have attached my signature here. Whenever I send any email, this will automatically go with my email. I do not have to type all the time this information. This is what we call the signature. You can also create or what we say, develop the signature in your Gmail. We will see at the end of this video lecture. Now you see at the lower portion you are seeing some arrow mark which is for going back and going forward. Then if you want, suppose you have composed your message in this palette, in this blank box. If you want to change the font style, you can click here, then different font styles will be appearing. You choose whatever you are comfortable. To increase or decrease the size of the text material, you have to click on this T, you can T some double T here. If you want to make it bold, click on this, underline, italics. If you want to give any coloring, you have to click on this box, then that will also appear. If you want to left align or right align, give bulleted points, you can of course get it from this, from these icons. Now below that you will see then there is a icon like which is used for attaching some files. Say for example, as a teacher I am attaching a video class of my video class. So I can of course attach my video class. To attach that, I will be clicking on this attachment link. Then you can also attach website links, for which you have to use this icon. For attaching website link, you have to click on this. You can of course, this is very common in WhatsApp and Telegram messages, attaching emojis, using emojis. So there is an option for attaching emojis also. Then you have the facility to attach files from your Google Drive, because this is a product of Google company. Google Drive is of course their product. So if you have some files which are there in your Google Drive, that can be directly imported from your Google Drive. So you do not have to go to the Google Drive. Instead you will click on this triangle shaped icon, then it goes to your Google Drive. If you want to attach photographs, click on this, and sometimes we also send some password protected emails or attachment. If you want to do that, click on this. There is a timer like button here, you have to click on that. So friends, this is how, these are some of the basics. Now let us see what will happen when we are clicking on this link and other facilities which are available. See, as I was saying, you can increase or decrease the size of the composed message. If you are clicking on that, this T, this is how it is going to appear: small, normal, large, huge. These many options are available. When you are clicking on the color palette, you can either color your text or background of your composed message. So use this link for that. If you are clicking on the link, if you want to send any website link, I was saying click on this, then this kind of a window will be appearing where you have to give your website address link. Now when you are clicking on this triangle shaped icon, this kind of a window will appear. It will directly take you to your Google Drive. So from there you attach all the files which are required. When you click on this timer like icon, this kind of a window will be appearing. So you make sure to put the passwords, when it has to end, all those information can be fed in. So friends, these are some of the facilities which are available in the Gmail when you are composing a new message. It's not only the text message, various files can be attached. So then how it is related to us? If you are a teacher, if you want to send any files, text, self-learning materials, all those can be attached in your email, making use of the facilities available. Now let us see how you will work on the received messages, because even at IGNOU, I receive many project proposals through my email. So I used to give my comments or suggestions through the email itself. So let us have a brief look on how it will be looking like when you receive an email and what facilities are available there. See, this is the interface. After receiving, you click on the email that you have received, then this is how it is going to look like. So somebody has sent me an email, there is an attachment Word file. Now if you want to send reply, there are two options, either you can click here or directly now the Gmail is giving some artificial kind of technology they are using. Automatically when the email comes to us, the Gmail give you some probable replies which you can of course use. So we don't have to type anything. Say for example, this is a proposal, they are asking for approval status to get approval. So Gmail is giving whether it is approved, please go ahead, approved, please proceed. So whichever is comfortable, whichever is suiting to my need, I can of course select that. Then that way I can reply. Otherwise I have to click on this reply button, then I have to compose my message, then that has to be sent. On the right side also you can see there are 3 dots on the right side, 3 dots. Click on these 3 dots and see the options coming, reply, forward. So you can do number of options with the messages that we have received or emails that we have received. If you want to reply, again click on this or come to the right side, click on these 3 dots, click on reply. If you want to forward this mail to somebody else, click on forward. Then you can filter the messages, you can take the printout, delete these messages. Even we have other options also to delete this message. If it is a fraud mail, you can report it as a spam mail. Then there are many options, downloading, translating the message. Of course you can, if it is not in a language which you are not comfortable, you can translate that to another message. So friends, on the top also you are seeing something like many icons are there. So these icons will appear when you click on the received mails. And see these icons, of which there is one icon which is showing an arrow mark. When you click on that, as I was saying, I have created many new folders here, say for example Ajit. So, this message is something related to this folder or BA or some other programs. Then I can of course move that message to that particular folder. So, you make the folders which are required for you, then the messages which are related to that particular folder you can move to that particular folder. For that, what you have to do, you click on the received messages, then click on this arrow mark, then choose the folder which you are going to move that particular mail. Now, the last is about the changing settings of the email. As I was saying, you can develop or create your signature. You can do many changes in your what we say Gmail. For that, what you have to do, this was the interface I was showing you, then click on this wheel icon, then this kind of a window will be appearing. See, general settings, language, phone number, maximum page size, undo send, there are many settings. So, you choose your comfortable kind of options. Labels also you can change, inbox how it has to look like, accounts, the messages if you want to filter or emails you want to filter, then add-ons, chat and meet, advanced. So, there are many options, facilities which are available when you click on that wheel icon, and accordingly you select the settings which are required for you. So, friends, in this video lecture we have extensively talked about the different technologies which can be used for communicating. The communication is from the teacher to students, this can be from teacher and the parents, various other stakeholders involved in teaching learning processes, communication between the students. So, there are many such communications happening in the teaching learning processes. So, what all technologies you can use for that purposes in various modes of education we have discussed in this video lecture. I hope you have understood the concepts that we have discussed today. Thank you.